Hi friends, I'm Jay Sennett. Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Jay, here from my Jazzy J kitchen. I hope you all are doing well, and thanks so much for watching. Cooking with Jay airs Sunday evenings at 6 on the WHO Public Media Facebook page. And we also have archive programs of the show up on YouTube now, Cooking with Jay up on YouTube. And thanks to all of you that have responded to me. Much appreciated. And I want to thank our sponsor, Feast Virginia, for coming in and supporting what I'm doing with the show. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Today I'm going to cook for you fish. And my favorite type of fish is the whitey meaty fish, you know, like haddock or halibut or cod. And I order my fish from this company called Wolf, I guess that's how to pronounce it, W-U-L-F. Maybe they should give me an endorsement because I'm talking about them. But this fish, oh, it's so good. Yes, they have to freeze it to ship it, but once they catch the fish, they clean it, gut it immediately, then they vacuum pack it, and then they freeze it right away. When I get this fish and I cut open that vacuum packed package wrapper that they have the fish in, if you held it up to my nose, if you covered my eyes and held it up to my nose, I would never know that there was fish in front of me, because there is no fishy smell at all. I mean, this fish is incredibly fresh, and it's such a beautiful fish. So I'm going to make today halibut steaks, but a Bella Vitano sage encrusted halibut steak. Okay, I'll say that again. Bella Vitano is a cheese. I use the Bella Vitano Merlot cheese, okay, and some sage, right? And that's what I encrust the fish with. So I'm going to show you how I make this halibut. It's pretty easy, and you're going to love it if you make it. Okay, so you ready to get cooking? All right, here we go. Okay, see that beautiful piece of fish? Now, when I take it out of the wrapper, I pat dry the fish. Okay, you want to dry it. All right. Man, it's a beautiful piece of fish. Oh, I love this fish. Nice meaty piece of fish. Now, I want to season it. Well, first, let me slice it. I want to make some steaks out of this. I'll get 4. All right, small, mid-sized sticks, okay? Then, some freshly ground black pepper. All right, some salt. All right, and I also put some Spanish paprika on the fish. It has a nice smoky flavor to it, okay? So, cut all the way through. All right. So, get this seasoned like that. So what I want to do first, I'm going to dip it in, dredge it in some flour. All right. And in this bowl, I have an egg. I beat up the egg. Beat it up. All right. And over here, I have the Bella Vitano cheese. All right. And I'm going to sprinkle some sage on that. Okay, I'm going to set those there. So the flour. All right, then the egg. And then the cheese. All right, so you want to get that spread out nicely. Okay, and it starts to stick to your fingers. I'm going to rinse this off. Actually, probably would be easier if I use this. But first, I'm going to dice up some more of this sage. All right. Sage of that one there. And you can also put it in the cheese too. So I'll do that. Probably easier. Okay, 2 more pieces. Flour, egg, right, then the cheese and the sage. Slip there. Last piece, flour. Okay. Egg and the cheese and sage. All right. Fingers again. Okay. Now, here we have the fish. Okay, so I'm going to move this over to the stove. Okay, over here at the stove. Now, I'll explain a little bit more about what I have going on over here. This is just as a side dish, okay? I'll get back to that in a moment. So, my pan here, because I'm also going, I'm a pan-sear the fish fillets just for about a minute, minute and a half on each side, right? And then I'm going to bake the fish at 425 for about 5-6 minutes, okay? Now, if the fish is thicker, you might want to put it up to 6 or 7, 8 minutes, but it just depends on how thick the fish is, okay? These are probably about an inch, right? The middle part of the fish, and then it thins out as you get to the end. All right, this is red quinoa over here, right? Red quinoa over here. So let me put these fish fillets in the pan. I have a little bit of grapeseed oil in there because grapeseed oil has a higher smoke point, and I really want the pan hot, hotter than what it is right now. But you know, time is of the essence on the show. Okay? So turn that up. Get that hot. Move this up here. Okay. All right. So the fish will cook in this saucepan for just a couple of minutes. You know, about a minute, minute and a half on each side. I'll flip them over. And then I'll put them in the oven. Bake them at 425. Now, the red quinoa back here, first of all, when I look at this stuff, I see health. It's good health. It's just some healthy eating right there. I'm making a fig red quinoa as a side dish to go with my fish. Okay? And ideally, if you have some figs, you can dice up some figs. But since I couldn't find any figs, and actually this probably works out better. I get this fig spread or a fig preserve. Okay? And we'll get back to that in a moment because I'm going to mix that in with this red quinoa. Alright, so I'm going to flip this fish over here in just about another 25 seconds. I hope all of you have been doing well out there, and maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel with this COVID thing, so we can only cross our fingers, right? Some strange times. This past year has been very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay. And again, the oven is preheated to 425. All right. So I'm going to flip this fish over. Up. Like a little bit more room in there, because once you flip it over, you don't want to move it too much, or at all, really. Okay, see that nice sear that the pan is getting on it? And you can also cut down your oven time by how long you want the fish to cook here in the pan. But like I said, about 1.5 minutes on each side, and then I'll put the fish in the oven and bake it at 425 for about 5 minutes. But it smells so good. I can smell that cheese, that Bella Vitano cheese. I can smell the sage, the fresh sage, and even some of that Spanish paprika in there, which helps put that tad of smokiness in the flavor. All right, so we are just about ready. Maybe another 25-30 seconds. Get my spoon here for the pig. Okay. All right. So turn that off, front burner off, and we'll put this fish in the oven. All right. So set the timer. 5 minutes. All right. Now, this over here is the red quinoa. And if you notice, I had the lid off of that. And the reason why, once I cover it up, right, it gets to a boil, then I take that off and I reduce the heat a little bit, okay? And let it cook without the lid. Now, even directions or most people will say cook it with the lid on. I found that when I cook the quinoa without the lid on, it's moist. The quinoa is more moist. It's not as dried out. I use, the rule of thumb is like, 2 parts water, 1 part quinoa, right? Like I put a half a cup of quinoa in there. Then I tend to use a little bit more of the liquid. Instead of a cup of liquid, I might put 1.25 cups of the liquid in there. Now I'll take some of these fig preserves, okay, probably about 1.5 tablespoons, and then we'll set this over here so I don't have to reach over this hot burner. And I mix this fig preserve into the quinoa. I didn't put any salt in here. Now for extra flavor, you can use a broth, either a vegetable or even a chicken broth, to cook the quinoa in. But I didn't. I just used water. And you want to get that mixed in well. And there's different kind of quinoa. But this is the red quinoa. And it cooks, you want to cook it down till you get almost all of the water out of it. And then when you can kind of separate it a little bit, and you can see if there's a little bit of water at the bottom of the pot, then you turn your heat off, okay? And that's when you add the fig preserve. Now I want to taste this, okay? Yep. Rinse off the spoon. Yeah. I would say maybe 2 tablespoons of the fig preserves. They don't call this a preserve, they call this a spread. But they do add some sugar in here. Why, I'm not sure, but they do. But it's pretty much all natural. But it's like a fig preserve to me. So I put that in here with the quinoa. Okay? Now, let's check the fish. Wow, okay, we have about 1 minute or so left on the fish. Let's get me plate. Ba-da-bum. Da-da. And a spoonful. One more taste of this. It's really good, man. Okay. Now, okay. I'm going to make a little plate right here. And quinoa can get messy, so the little grains, you know, they'll get everywhere if you're not careful. All right, add a little bit more in there. Okay. All right. Now, let's see, check my fish. We have seconds left, ladies and gentlemen. Seconds left. Seconds left. All right. Yep. Quinoa. So, there we go. All right, turn that off. So, let's get the fish out of the oven. All right. The fish looks magnifico. Magnifico. Okay. Add a piece of this fish to the plate. All right. I'm going to add a little lemon for some garnish. Get up there, get upright. Okay, and I want to add some lemon juice over the fish for some added flavor. A little touch of citrus in there. Okay. There you have. That's the Bella Vitano Sage Encrusted Halibut with a big red quinoa. Okay, that's going to be my dinner tonight. Hi everyone, Jay Sennett here. Join me for Cooking with Jay Sunday evenings at 6 on Facebook at WHRO Public Media, with previous shows now available on YouTube at WHRO Public Media. So let's get cooking. Support for Cooking with Jay provided by Feast Virginia. Food is a human issue that needs everyone at the table. Visit feastva.org to learn more.